Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. In my life, I found that as a life experience, based on direct experience with martial arts and in general, plus the books I've been reading, I found that spirit, the attitude, the craziness is sometimes or most of the time more important than sitting down and calculating the risks and so on, because many times you talk yourself out of it if you sit down and don't act. Therefore, just do it as Zen Buddhism. Just do it. Do it, and let your body do what you trained it for, or at least have the instinct, have that craziness. And I experienced that in life, and I saw it at many people who were not that necessarily capable, but by doing it and being consistent, they succeeded through perseverance, an attitude of craziness. Never give up. This article that I have here talks about the Hungarians. I think the Hungarians as a culture, as I know them, as I read about them, have this tenacity. And that's very, very important, considering now that in Hungary, I think there are about 10 million Hungarians. That's not a big country, not a big nation. 10 million or 9 million, around that, with a few more millions around the world and around the territory of current-day Hungary. But they still have the spirit, at least the people that I met, in different capacities. And I have here an article where they again show this tenacity, this spirit, that they have the courage to put themselves against the current, the big current. And the big current in this case is the United States and the other weasel countries that say yes, yes, yes to the United States and get involved in whatever they are pointed out. You go that way, they all go over there like a herd of lemmings. So let's see what's going on here. We have an article from, obviously, Ukrainska Pravda, which is an Ukrainian media outlet, from Wednesday, 19th of April 2023. Orban's party refuses to support Putin's arrest for trial in The Hague. Now, Hungary is a signatory of the International Criminal Court in The Hague. So this is the Wikipedia, and here are the countries that are signatories. The green ones are the ones that are signatories of the Hague, International Criminal Court. Hungary is right here by Ukraine, which did not ratify it. These countries, like United States of America and Russia, they again are part of it, but they are signatory that subsequently withdrew their signature. So, and then the red ones are not a state party. So, the red ones, not a state party, like Turkey, like China, India. These ones withdrew their signatures. So, United States is the same as Russian Federation. And you have here Hungary, part of it. And they say that they will not give a damn about it, and they refuse to support Putin's arrest for trial. Now, if you look on this map, you have South Africa, which is a signatory. The BRICS summit will occur this summer here, and President Ramaphosa said, well, I don't think we're going to arrest Putin. I don't know, we have to, but we'll not, and something like this. Ramaphosa from South Africa, he already refused one time for another leader, an African leader, to arrest him for something that he was also, an arrest warrant was issued on his name. So I don't know. Let's see what these Hungarians are doing. On Wednesday, Hungary's ruling Fidesz party rejected a draft resolution calling for the arrest of Russian President Vladimir Putin under a warrant issued by the International Criminal Court, ICC. Agnes Vadai, deputy head of the Democratic Coalition Party, which initiated the resolution. Vadai has said that the Hungarian government previously stated that it would not be able to arrest Putin because although it had ratified the Rome Statute of the International Criminal Court, it had not been built into the Hungarian legal system. However, the Fidesz party rejected this very proposal. Quote from Vadai: "It is quite obvious that Viktor Orban serves Vladimir Putin." So you can already see that this Mr. Vadai is a very much democratic person and a coalition, and he is someone else's vassal. You know what the Hungarians used to do with people like him in the medieval times? Why don't you ask a Hungarian? And he's going to tell you. Now, so Mr. Vadai, and I'm quoting, says that it is quite obvious that Viktor Orban serves Vladimir Putin and will not allow the Russian president to be arrested if he comes to Hungary. You understand, Mr. Vadai, that you as a nation will be possibly annihilated if you do that? He serves Putin by buying Russian gas. For whom, Vadai? Isn't that for your people? For the Hungarian people? From him at a very high price, actually a very low price. The high price is against your masters, Mr. Vadai. The political emphasized. Vadai added that, and I'm quoting, Orban is interested in Putin and profits. Profits for Hungary and Hungarian people. And it just happens that they are connected. Putin is connected with gas, is connected with the Hungarian people well-being, unfortunately. And as the Indian government said, Mr. Jaishankar, Dr. Jaishankar, which I admire a lot, he called out the weasels that from the European Union and said, don't stop, and the United States, stop calling us out about buying Russian oil and all that, because you're buying more than we did, and if it's in our interest to buy it at a cheaper price, we're going to look for our own interest, as you look for your own interest. If you are smart, but you are not, I'm adding not, he didn't say that, you're not, because the European Union shot itself about 10 times or 11 times in the feet with their sanctions. But hey, that's what happens when you have masters and you don't dare to even have a little bit of independence, sovereignty, personality, ego. Respect yourself. All right, let's move back to the Hungarians. All right, so he says here that profits and is not in the fate of Ukrainian children abducted by Russia. And this is why Fidesz, despite talking about peace, rejects the resolution in the Parliamentary Committee on Foreign Affairs. Background. In March, ICC issued an arrest warrant for Russian President Vladimir Putin. I'm surprised they don't call him dictator here. They want to make it like sound official or something. Finding him guilty, that's that's evidence that's what is a warrant. You find him guilty. I thought that only a judge or some other people can find you guilty, not really a warrant, of the unlawful deportation of thousands of children from Ukraine. If he would be guilty, then he would not be tried anymore, right? So this guy needs to understand what a arrest warrant is, and what finding someone guilty is. All right. There's reason to believe that he might be, violated or broke the law or certain kind of law. That's why it is. They have found the grounds to do that, to arrest him and place him in front of a judge. And then if, after all those trials, he is found guilty, then we can talk finding him guilty. Until then, not proven, my friends. But hey, this is Ukraine, which is a very democratic country, as we know. All right. Unlawful deportation of thousands of children from Ukraine. Well, I think he would argue that he saved their lives, maybe, by removing them from the war zone. Basically, that's probably going to be his one of the arguments. The issuance of the warrant means that Putin could be arrested if he travels to any member state of the International Criminal Court. Earlier, Orban administration stated that they would not arrest the Russian leader if he were to travel to Hungary, despite the warrant issued against Putin by the International Criminal Court. According to the Hungarian legal system, Budapest has no legal grounds to arrest the Russian president. Hungary has only formally endorsed the Rome Statute, but has not changed its legislation to implement it. So that means that things are even worse for these guys who want to. And now, be honest, let's be not honest, let's be realistic. If Putin, let's say, travels to Hungary and Hungary says, we're not going to arrest you, and he shows up and somehow he's got, surrounded by, how do you call it, Hungarian military, and they are arresting him or simply kill him or something, let's say arresting him. What do you think will happen next? What do you think? Do you think that just the Russians are going to just disappear or something? We'll just say, you got us, thank you very much for, killing our dictator or something? Do you think that's what they're going to say? I think that could very likely be an extermination or total destruction of not only Hungary, but other countries that the Russians will not hold back. It's a possibility. And I think a probability too. Possibility could be, I don't know, I give it a big possibility. And probability, I give it a 90% at least. And that's a very high, probability. So again, the Hungarians are putting themselves like this. Okay, so the water doesn't flow anymore. We'll see what weapons the weasels can use against Orban and the Hungarian people again. I'm talking about Brussels and people who maneuver Washington, D.C. Remember, who maneuver. I'm not talking about Biden and Kamala. These guys are just, there for, for the rubble to think that, oh yeah, look, the system is working. Yes, it's working. In whose behalf? In the behalf of the demos, of the people. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.